You mess with the great and powerful Max, and now must suffer the consequences. I summon the burning rain of death.
Burning rain of death.
Burning rain of death.
He makes fire in his hand.
For our second entry into Witch Month, we're going to do something we very rarely do, at least outside of our movie night adventure theme months that we've done. We're talking about a movie aimed at families, released strangely enough in July 1993. I don't get why they didn't do it in October since it's a Halloween movie by Walt Disney Pictures. Tonight we're talking about Kenny Ortega's Hocus Pocus.
Yes?
I will ask thee one final time.
Yes?
What hast thou done with my son, Thackeray?
Thackeray.
Answer me!
Well, I don't know. Cat's got my tongue.
Originally a bomb when it came out in 1993, it's become a cult classic after decades of ABC Family and Disney Channel airings around Halloween. And it's created an entire cottage industry of articles about it every year, especially after Disney released Hocus Pocus 2 in 2022. Of course, a bomb for Disney is still a movie that was made for $28 million, making $39 million at the box office initially.
That happens very often, and nothing I've done ever reached the heights of what The Stand did. Well, except Hocus Pocus.
Yeah,
which,
we'll get to Hocus Pocus in a minute.
Which was actually written 8 years before it was made.
Right.
My draft, anyway. There are 11 other people on it after me, but we'll get to that.
Yes.
It was written by Mick Garris and based off of a story that the producer, David Kirshner, told his daughter after seeing a black cat wander over from his neighbor's house and inventing the Sanderson sisters, three witches who turned a boy into a cat. Mick Garris is probably best known for his many collaborations with Stephen King on now cult classic TV miniseries that King would write and Garris would direct. And that way, he was kind of like an early version of Mike Flanagan.
To hit the, it was not particularly successful when it came out. It was a very mild success.
Right.
But over time, and it really started with the Disney Channel, they started running it on Halloween, and then ABC started doing it. And every year it gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and people keep asking about a sequel and all that. That's finally about to start production.
Right.
And the merchandise, it's the biggest Halloween movie in history.
Hocus Pocus was directed by Kenny Ortega, who had moved from acting to choreography on 80s classics like St. Elmo's Fire, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, which he was also the second unit director on, Dirty Dancing, and Pretty in Pink. In 1992, Kenny Ortega made his directorial debut with Newsies. And after Hocus Pocus, he'd go on to direct both Tu Wong Fu, Thanks for Everything, Julie Newmar, and the High School Musical trilogy. Kenny Ortega tried to cast Leonardo DiCaprio for Hocus Pocus, but he turned it down because he was working on What's Eating Gilbert Grape.
Shut up! Dad's dead.
Arnie.
Dad's dead.
Arnie, shh. Arnie.
He also hoped to cast Rosie O'Donnell and Cloris Leachman, who the Bette Midler role was originally written for. The original concept for Hocus Pocus would have been called Disney's Halloween House and been much darker, and all the young characters would have been 12. Finally, after searching around for quite a while, Bette Midler was cast as the main witch, Winifred Sanderson, and Sarah Jessica Parker, right before Ed Wood, Mars Attacks, and then Sex and the City, was cast as her sister. And finally, Kathy Najimy, who just a year earlier had starred in the VHS record-breaking Sister Act with Whoopi Goldberg, a film of success Hocus Pocus would seek to emulate, as well as Omri Katz, Vanessa Shaw, and Thora Birch as the sassy younger sister almost a decade before Ghost World. The movie tells the story of the Sanderson sisters, three witches in Salem who want to use magic to drain the life force out of the children of Salem to stay young forever.
Tis her life force. The potion works. Take my hands. We will share her.
Oh, Winnie, how generous of thee.
They drain a little girl named Emily Binks and turn her brother Thackeray into a talking cat, which I'm sure didn't give any kids nightmares, before they're finally caught and hung for witchcraft. But they've hexed a black candle that if a virgin lights, they'll return from the dead. Thackeray the cat stays around their house, warning people to stay away from lighting the candle.
black flame candle made from the fat of a hangman. Legend says that on a full moon, it will raise the spirits of the dead when lit by a virgin on Halloween night. What happened?
A virgin lit the candle.
But a virgin named Max from LA who's just moved to Salem wants to impress a girl in his class and lights the candle, bringing the Sanderson sisters into the 1990s.
Bubble, I'm in trouble.
Tell me, friend, what is this contraption?
I call it a bus.
A bus. And its purpose?
To convey gorgeous creatures such as yourselves to your most forbidden desires.